next guy is defensive
Phillips.
end. Yeah, it's Mr.
The former UCLA, I think they call them the Bears? Golden Bears?
Golden Bears. Yeah.
I think
so.
Anyways, I used to really like UCLA when I was younger. Don't ask me why.
The home of Josh
But I don't now. They got Chip fucking Kelly. Ugh. But whatever. He's turning it around. So Phillips. Funny story. Comes out of retirement because he had such an injury plagued UCLA career. Actually, he had an injury and they thought he wouldn't be able to come back and play. He retired for a couple of years and then a year and came out of retirement when things were he was cleared.
Yeah.
And he went to Florida. So that's where he's at now. So let's get into it. He's 6'5", Eric, 266 pounds. Another long ass kid, tall ass kid with long ass arms.
Yep.
Everything you said about your boy is total opposite. I find with this guy. Phillips he's a pure pass rusher. Like he's not that he can't play the run, but like his strength is the pass rush.
Yep.
He's got a game plan, like I alluded to before, that I felt like, anyways, somebody didn't. Let's not say his name anymore because he's a good lad and he's going to go in the first round. But and I love Michigan, so But anyways, getting back to my Italy oodly here, boy. He's a pure pass rusher. He's got multiple moves. He can swim. He likes to let the offensive lineman kind of get in close on him sometimes. By that I mean instead of like putting his arm out straight, like getting that separation, he'll kind of bend his arm. I don't know if you're watching us, you can see it. He'll bend his arm a little bit. And then when the offensive lineman thinks he's got him, he'll extend it like this, just like he's bench pressing and toodaloo, boy.
You're done.
But I will say, Eric, he played some really good teams. Like, so when you put on the Clemson tape, that offensive lineman, I can't remember his name for the life of me right now, but it doesn't matter. He did a better job, but you still see the talent. He was still able to get pressure. He did get a sack on Lawrence, and he was in his face a lot of the game. But he's still really good, man. He's just unreal. He's got a game plan. He's still good I'll break down the run too. He's good in the run. But you do see some inconsistencies. That's the polite way of putting it. Like it seems like I don't want to say he takes plays off, but like it seems like some plays he'll read correctly and blow them up. And then another play, I don't know what he's kind of thinking out there. Like he'll jump instead of remember how we said we did the read? So I'm engaged. I've got Eric in my hands and I'm reading to my left and right. Sometimes he kills it. Yeah. And then there's sometimes you're like, what the hell is he doing? Like he'll shoot the gap instead of staying home and reading it. He'll shoot the gap, and then they just go underneath him, and it's a big run play.
No, like you
there's
said,
multiple games where you see it.
Yeah,
just saying.
Like you said, he's the things that we said that because it's funny because like the notes are almost
total opposite.
They're almost reversed, and like I said, neither one of them are terrible at either part of it, right?
They're really good. They're great athletes.
They're unreal. It's just Jaelen Phillips is a very good pass rusher. Like I said,
unreal.
He tacks that outside hand, which you love to see as a pass rusher. Somebody that loves it. He
can do it anyway.
Inside.
He can go inside.
He'll go with power. Gaps. He'll bull rush.
Yeah, bull rush.
And he where Kwity Paye may not, have a plan as he's rushing. Jaelen Phillips does, right? It's okay. One thing doesn't work.
He's got multiple things he's going to do.
Yeah, exactly. He'll do one to the next. I find he wasn't the most physically gifted, and I found in the run game. So there were some run games I found that he was pretty good. But there was a game against.
But he's inconsistent, right? He's inconsistent. One game he's sick. Like it seems like he's engaged.
Yeah.
He's willing and able, and he's making the plays. And then the next game you'll put on, and his pass rush is still awesome, but it's his defensive or sort of stopping the run. He's just so inconsistent. So
against North Carolina, he actually had a bunch of problems against the counter. So like you said, with somebody like Kwity Paye, who's so good at it, which he doesn't over pursue, and he takes out that gap when that tackles move and they give you the gap. He's trying to get to the edge to try to get downfield, right? Instead of cutting it off, coming more to the middle. And pinching then coming up and pinching it up, like you said, like on almost if you want to talk about like receiver kind of, if you're comparing to a receiver, like kind of more of a slant rather than coming in and sweeping it or going a straight line to the quarterback. he doesn't do that. So there's a couple plays against North Carolina where he's got to grab that empty space in the middle to cut down that counter play. There was a bunch of times where he's just getting caught by it, right? He's thinking, okay,
They ran the Sam play on him, I think 2 or 3 times, and they were big runs. And I couldn't believe it because I seen a Virginia Tech, I think it was, and they run the same play on him, and he blows it up all game.
Yeah,
and then
that's what it
was like you said. Yeah, so then the opposite. It was the opposite in the game Eric said, and it blows my mind. Yeah. I'm like, buddy, what are we?
We just saw you do it against
Virginia like Tech. Inconsistent that way.
And then you don't.
He's sick though, like we alluded to. But his pass rushing, like he shoots the gaps. He's lengthy. He uses all his tools very well. Like Eric said, he's kind of a gazelle out there. He's a little bit of a pretty boy on defense.
Yeah.
Sometimes he just doesn't seem willing to, like, I don't know, just dive in the pile. Like, for a bad analogy, like he just doesn't seem to want to get dirty sometimes, like get in there, drop the shoulder and whatever. But I just kind of the feeling I got. But what I do like too is I didn't mention this. I also want to say he can rush you with his hand in the dirt. He can rush you standing up. He gets sacks both ways, and you see that on the tape. So I love that aspect. Like in Florida here at the U, he did play some good teams this year. Like I said, Clemson was one of them. I think they played the Gators too. Don't quote me on that. I can't remember. I think they did though, but I'm pretty sure I've seen Dave. But I've seen so many Gator games this year. I could be, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But he is talented, man. He's beautiful, and he's going to be good in the next level. Like you can coach up.
No, and like I said,
the run,
like when you see him doing it in some games, like so that was almost more of
a good sign.
That was almost
it's like just inconsistent. He needs to bring it every game.
It was almost more of a frustrating thing on the other side to watch him, do it so well against Virginia Tech, and then like I said, against somewhere in like North Carolina State,
bed and
he just like I said, whether it's just he's getting over eager or he just wants to get after the quarterback, thinks he's gonna get the quarterback on a counter and he's gonna pull up the quarterback, or he's gonna chase down this running back from behind or whatever it is. Like I said, it's just you gotta get to those empty holes, especially in the run game against a counter. You gotta get to that open hole. If it looks too good to be true, people, it probably is.
Did I say his stats? He had 21 solo tackles, 8 sacks, like Eric alluded to, and then 1 interception. So there that is. He had 0 forced fumbles. There's something I'd like to see improve.
Yep.
But I will say though, even if he doesn't get to the quarterback, he does seem to put a lot of fucking pressure. So he does his job very well. Yep. Like when he's got to put his hand in the dirt or when he stands, he's vice versa. I think this is a guy in the NFL. It doesn't matter if you're playing a 4-3 front, or if you're playing a 3-4. I think he can play outside linebacker. He looks the part. He's fast. He's quite quick. I love his quickness in small areas. He seems to find ways. He's great with his hands, like Eric alluded to. Tackle his hands. He attacks the outside hand beautifully. But then again, he sets that shit up too because he goes inside on them too. So
you get that outside hand down on a tackle, and they can't do anything, right? That loses their balance. They what are they gonna do? Push with the right hand? No, like you have like that. You get that out. You attack that outside hand.
It throws their center off.
Everything.
That's why they say if you get to the shoulder pads, like right here, if you push up. The worst enemy for an offensitive lineman is to get underneath them because then they're going back, and that is not good.
No.
Especially if they're pass protecting. You're screwed.
Exactly.
So, let me see here. What I got that. I find he is an intelligent player. Now, I wouldn't put him on the IQ as a level as the previous 2 players I said, but he is a smart ball player, and his abilities speak for themselves. He's able to stop the run, but like I said, it's a red flag to me. Not a red flag, but it's just a strike against him that he's inconsistent, right? Like he'd be an absolute bona fide stud, but I'm getting the feeling that to me, he is the best pass rusher in this. That's just me so far. Like I just think he's just got a lot in the toolbox when it comes to getting around a tackle, and he does it successfully a lot against actual pretty good talent.
I think he's a lot better than the other guy on the other side of him. Let's just put it that way, Russo.
Yeah, that could be. Yeah, could be. Yes, agreed. Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about now. Sorry.
Yeah,
I zoned out a little bit there.
So yeah,
I mentioned shoot the gaps. He can shoot the gaps. I think he's great. He's almost like a linebacker that way. See, another reason I think he could be successful playing linebacker, but he'd be better outside for sure.
100%.
So yeah, and I have here. He's pretty good run stopper, but inconsistent. And
which is
I think we nailed it. So what do you think? You like him, man?
Yeah, no, I think
both agree that he's the better.
I think he's just like I said, the potential of what he can become. Now is he a Chase Young? No, right? But
no, he's not. He's not on that level.
There's very few guys that are Chase Young, right? That's at the end of the day. But
that's why actually, Eric. Not funny that you say that. I'm excited for Eric's next guy because I seen him, Eric's next prospect. I'm not going to say his name.
We'll get to it.
But anyways, I seen him do very well against Chase last year.
Yep.
And I love every minute of it. So even when he looked down and out, he was not.
So that's all I'm going to say. Where would you want to see somebody like the Jaelen Phillips go?
Oh, this is good. I'd like to see him in a couple spots.
Like I think he's another guy.
Let's start.
I don't think any of the guys we're talking about, like on your list.
Where do you think he goes, Eric? No, where do you just not team? Just tell me round spot, like as in.
I think he goes between 10 and 20. I think is kind of where I see.
Agreed. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So anywhere from the Giants, I'd like to see him at the Giants.
I wouldn't mind that.
Maybe Philly goes and adds somebody like Brandon Graham's not.
You're gonna think I'm crazy. I wouldn't mind seeing him in Carolina. I don't think it will happen, but
yeah, I don't mind that. Like I said, I think it might.
You know what I mean? Like honestly, you got Darnold. So
if they could trade back with say New England, I think that'd be a good spot for him. Like if they went back to if New England moved up to 8 and to grab a Trey Lance or something, and
oh my God, you mean to grab Fields? I was fucking Cam Newton behind Cammy. I fucking love that.
Trevor's pants just got a little tight. Anyways.
I'm dreaming over here. I just wet myself. I think I peed myself.
But there's a couple places like that. In Arizona, you could learn behind kind of doesn't make him. He can learn behind a JJ Watt. I don't think JJ Watt is what he used to be, right? But
or from Jones, right?
Chandler Jones, exactly. So
yeah, that would be.
You get those two guys there.
You imagine him playing tackle?
Yeah.
Or put one of the older fellas inside a little bit, like that time the Giants beat New England with Tuck and Usman and I'm missing somebody. JP.
Yeah. It's all his boys. So like I said, there's a couple of spots I could like to see him go. Like I said, he can go anywhere.
I don't want to see him go to the Eagles.
No, but there's anywhere between 10 and 20 and 18 probably. Even I don't know if Miami would take him, but there's a big spot between there.
I don't think Miami will.